At these weekly POG meetings, they initially worked with people's photos, but it was too upsetting for researchers not used to direct contact with patients. Now they're back to using numbers. No big deal for patient 490. Karl Pollak just wants answers.
Let's get on with the job. I have some living to do. The cancer is cramping my style.
2 years ago, Karl Pollak was diagnosed with colon cancer. It had reached stage 4.
Well, yeah, by the time they found it, my liver was completely covered with the crap, and it was starting to invade my lungs. If it were just the colon, they could probably go snip, snip, sew it up and be done with it. But let's not carve up Karl too quickly.
While he waits for his POG analysis, Karl's mind turns to the possible causes of his cancer.
I have a pretty good idea why I got the cancer, because all my life I've been eating lots of red meat and lots of processed meat, and it has the sodium nitrate and stuff like that, which in those quantities is apparently carcinogenic.
Maybe Karl can take some comfort in how complicated we now know cancer to be.
So we'll have you up here laying on your back.
Well, when you think about cancer cells as being your own body cells just growing out of control, in some very rare cases, there's 1 or 2 triggers. Sometimes it's an inherited gene that's telling the cell wrong information, or sometimes it's a virus, and we know about virally triggered cancers. But I would say in the vast majority, it's a complicated relationship of environment and inherited genetics and some sort of mysterious combination of those factors. So when people ask what's caused my cancer, I think it's often 10 or 15 or even hundreds of things that we can't yet quantify for most cases.
You're doing great, Karl. You're just going to feel the bed move again.
While the causes are complex, one sobering fact is not in dispute. If you live in North America, your chances of developing cancer are estimated to be over 40%. And while promising, POG won't find a solution for everyone.
So they put me on a pill that was originally designed to lower blood pressure, which it did marvelously, but it did nothing for my cancer.
After 6 weeks, a scan showed that Karl's treatment wasn't working, so he went back on standard chemotherapy.
On one level, of course I'm disappointed, you know. I wanted them to wave their magic wand and make the cancer disappear. That didn't work. You know, that didn't happen. But at the same time, I'm realistic enough to realize that this is an experimental program and not everything they try is going to be successful. And I just happen to be one of the ones that were not successful. I still think that they're doing great work.
We think something's going to work. We hope it works. And sometimes we're lucky and it turns out that the theory is sound. Sometimes it just doesn't work out the way we think. And I think instead of a trial and error, I think that's just the process of learning.